Welcome back to English Medium, the channel where real stories inspire real change.
My name is Mano.
And today I want to share something that has transformed thousands of lives around the world. This is not just another motivational video. This is a deep dive into the lives of real people who started exactly where you are right now. Before we dive into their stories, let me tell you something important. If you find these stories connecting with your heart, if you see yourself in these characters, then please take a moment right now to like this video. Your support means everything to us. More importantly, subscribe to this channel because next week we are bringing you even more powerful stories of transformation. And if you think someone you know needs to hear these stories, share this video with them. That person might be standing at a crossroads right now, and your share could be the push they need. Now, let's talk about something that sits at the very core of human potential. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract success like a magnet, while others work just as hard but never seem to break through? Why do some individuals turn their biggest problems into their greatest opportunities? Why do some people keep moving forward even when everything says stop? The answer is not about luck. It is not about family connections. It is not about being born in the right place. The answer lies in something deeper, something that lives inside the mind of every person who achieves greatness. Over the next few minutes, you are going to meet 7 extraordinary, ordinary people. They come from different backgrounds, they speak different languages, they faced different obstacles. But they all discovered the same fundamental truths about how to build a life of meaning, wealth, and impact. These are not celebrities. These are not people born with silver spoons. These are your neighbors, your colleagues, maybe people you have already passed on the street. And if they can do it, with the right understanding, with the right mindset, with the right principles, so can you. Let me tell you about Priya. 5 years ago, Priya was working at a textile factory, sewing clothes for 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. Her salary was barely enough to feed her family of 4. Her daughter wanted to go to school, but Priya could not afford the tuition. Her mother needed medical treatment, but the hospital bill seemed impossible. Every day felt the same. Every problem felt heavier than the day before. Then came the day that changed everything. The textile factory closed without warning. 200 workers lost their jobs in a single afternoon. Priya went home that evening not knowing how she would feed her family the next day. She sat with her husband and cried. It felt like the end of the world. But here is where Priya's story becomes different from so many others. Instead of sitting at home feeling defeated, instead of waiting for someone to rescue her, Priya asked herself a question that changed her life forever. She asked, "What do I have? What can I do with what I have right now?" She realized that she had spent 10 years learning to sew, to stitch, to create beautiful patterns. She had skills that lived in her hands. So she did something brave. She took the small amount of money she had saved and bought some fabric. She made beautiful dresses and started selling them in her neighborhood. At first, she sold just 2 or 3 dresses a month, but people loved her work. Within 6 months, she could not keep up with the demand. Today, Priya employs 15 people in her own small business. Her daughter is in school, her mother received the medical treatment she needed, and when people ask her how she did it, she always says the same thing. "I looked at the problem, and inside the problem, I found my opportunity." That factory closing, which felt like a disaster, was actually the push I needed to build something that belonged to me. Key principle. The most successful people do not see problems as walls. They see problems as doors. Every obstacle carries within it a hidden opportunity, waiting for someone curious enough to look for it. Now, let me tell you about Rahul. Rahul was a young man with a dream. He wanted to be a software developer, to build apps that would make people's lives better. But he grew up in a small village where there was no good school. There was no computer class. There was barely electricity most days. His parents were farmers. They had no money for expensive coding courses. When Rahul was 16 years old, his uncle gave him something that seemed worthless at the time. It was an old laptop that barely worked, and it came with a single book about programming basics. That laptop cost nothing. That book was just a simple introduction. But Rahul did something most people do not do. He invested his time. Every single day, for 1 hour after his farm work, Rahul sat with that laptop. He studied that book. He wrote his first lines of code. It was slow. It was frustrating. He made thousands of mistakes. But he kept investing that 1 hour every single day. He invested his energy into learning. He invested his attention into growing. He did not wait until he had money for expensive courses. He did not wait until he had the perfect conditions. He started with what he had. After 1 year of daily 1-hour investments, Rahul had learned enough to build his first simple app. After 2 years, that app had 1,000 users. After 4 years, his app was helping 10,000 people. After 5 years, a tech company noticed his work and offered him a job. Today, Rahul leads a team of developers. He makes 10 times the money his parents ever dreamed of. And the most interesting thing is that his daily 1-hour investment habit never changed. He still invests every single day. When people ask him the secret of his success, he always says, "I kept investing. Not money because I had no money. Not perfect conditions because they never came. I invested time. I invested energy. I invested attention. And because I kept investing daily without seeing immediate results, today my investments have grown beyond what I ever imagined possible." Key principle. Wealth, skill, and success are all built through consistent investing. The key word is investing, not spending. Investing means putting something in with the belief that it will grow and return to you multiplied. Most people spend their time, energy, and money on things that feel good today. Successful people invest these same resources into their future. Let me introduce you to Aisha. Aisha was a teacher at a public school. She was good at her job. She loved her students. But she had a bigger dream that sat quietly in her heart for 7 years. She wanted to start an online education platform where students from poor families could learn from the best teachers in the world completely free. For 7 years, she thought about this dream. She planned it. She researched it. She waited for the perfect moment. She told herself, "I need to learn more about technology first. I need to save more money. I need to find investors. I need to wait until I am absolutely sure it will work. I need perfect conditions. I need to know everything before I start." Then one day, her niece asked her a simple question. "Aunt, why are you waiting? Your students need help now, not next year. Why not start with what you have?" That question broke Aisha's waiting pattern. She decided to start not when she was ready, but right away. She used her simple smartphone. She borrowed her friend's laptop. She created her first online course teaching basic mathematics. It was not perfect. The video quality was poor. The presentation was simple. The platform she used was basic. But it was real, and it was something. In the first month, 50 students joined. In the first month, she made 50 rupees profit. That sounds like nothing, right? But something magical happened. By doing it, by taking imperfect action, she learned what she needed to learn. She discovered what worked and what did not. She learned from her students what they actually needed. She improved based on real feedback, not imagined feedback. Today, 2 years later, Aisha's platform has 5,000 students. It has grown from a one-woman operation to a team of 10 teachers. It has changed the lives of thousands of students who could never afford proper education. And Aisha always tells people, "I wasted 7 years waiting. I lost patience on the very thing that would have transformed my life if I had just started. The moment I stopped being perfect and started being real, everything changed." Key principle: imperfect action always beats perfect planning. The world teaches us to wait, to prepare, to be ready. But successful people know something different. They know that you cannot learn from thinking. You can only learn from doing. Start before you are ready. Start with what you have. Start today. Because there is no such thing as perfect timing. There is only action and waiting. And action always wins. Now, I want to tell you about Vikram. Vikram is a restaurant owner. He started his first small food stall with borrowed money. He had no formal training in cooking. He had no business degree. He had no advantage. But he had something else. He had an obsession with learning. Every single day, Vikram would do 3 things. In the morning, before his restaurant opened, he would read. He read about cooking techniques. He read about business management. He read about people who had built great restaurants. He did not just read for pleasure. He read with a pen in hand, writing down ideas and notes. During the day, when customers came, he did something most restaurant owners do not do. He asked questions. When a customer said the food was delicious, he asked why. What flavor did they enjoy the most? When a customer said they would not come back, instead of getting defensive, he asked why. What could be better? His customers were his teachers. In the evening, he would visit successful restaurants run by other people. He would eat their food, not to copy them, but to learn from them. How do they serve? What makes their restaurant special? What can I learn from someone who has done better than me? And on weekends, he invested in his own education. He took cooking classes, he attended restaurant management workshops, he hired mentors to teach him. Years went by. Vikram was always reading something. He was always asking someone. He was always learning from everyone around him. Other restaurant owners thought he was strange. They thought they already knew enough. They thought learning was for school, not for people who were already working. Today, Vikram runs 5 successful restaurants in 3 different cities. He has trained 50 young chefs who now work in top hotels. He has written a book about restaurant management that became a bestseller in his country. And the foundation of all of this is simple. He never stopped learning. He was the most curious person in every room. He treated everyone as a potential teacher. He saw every day as an opportunity to learn something new. When young people ask him for advice, he tells them this: "The moment you think you know enough is the moment you become obsolete." The world changes every day. New methods are discovered every day. Your customers' desires change every day. If you are not learning, you are falling behind. Stay hungry, stay curious. Treat every person as someone who can teach you something. Keep learning until you die, and your life will keep growing until you die. Key principle: intellectual humility. The belief that you can always learn more is one of the greatest assets a person can develop. The richest people in the world spend hours every day learning. They read voraciously. They ask constantly. They remain forever humble about what they do not know. This hunger for knowledge is not a weakness. It is the very thing that drives them forward. There is a woman named Deepa who runs a small clinic in a poor neighborhood. She is a nurse by training, but she became much more than that. Her clinic is famous because she gives more than she charges. Many patients pay nothing. Many pay very little. Yet somehow her clinic has grown. Deepa's philosophy is simple. Every patient is a person who came to her asking for help. She does not ask, "How much money can I make from this person?" She asks, "What can I do to truly help this person heal?" She listens carefully. She takes time. She explains things clearly. She gives her knowledge freely. She treats every patient like they are the most important person in the world. Something remarkable happened over the years. The people she helped with such generosity became her greatest advocates. They brought their families, they told their friends, they recommended her to everyone they knew. Her clinic filled with patients, not because she spent money on advertising, but because she gave genuine value. More importantly, Deepa's name became known in the neighborhood as a person of integrity. When she decided to expand her clinic, people offered to help her for free. Other doctors wanted to volunteer at her clinic because they were inspired by her mission. Companies donated medical equipment because they believed in what she was doing. Investors offered to fund her because they trusted her character. Today, Deepa runs not one clinic, but 3 clinics, and she is building a hospital. None of this came from greed. All of this came from generosity. She gave value, and value came back to her multiplied. She gave her knowledge, and more knowledge came. She gave her time, and more opportunities came. She focused on serving others, and success came as a natural result. The strange paradox of life is this. The moment you focus on taking as much as possible, you create scarcity around yourself. People don't want to work with takers. But the moment you focus on giving as much value as possible, you attract abundance. People want to work with givers. They want to be part of their mission. They want to support their vision. Key principle: success is not built by taking from the world. Success is built by giving to the world. The more value you give, the more people you attract. The more people you attract, the more success you create. This is not philosophy. This is practical business logic. Every successful business exists because it gives something valuable to customers. The better they give, the more successful they become. Let me tell you about Arjun. Arjun is an entrepreneur who has started 5 businesses in his life. Here is what is interesting about this number. 4 of those 5 businesses failed. They did not succeed. They did not make money. They just failed. By any normal standard, Arjun would be considered a failure. A person who started 5 businesses and 4 failed. Most people would give up. Most people would say, "I am not meant to be an entrepreneur. I do not have the talent. I should get a safe job and stop dreaming." But Arjun saw it differently. He saw each failure as a teacher. His first business failed because he did not understand his market. He learned about market research. His second business failed because he was not managing money properly. He learned about financial management. His third business failed because he did not have the right team. He learned about hiring and leadership. His fourth business failed because he was trying to do everything alone. He learned about delegation. By the time he started his 5th business, he was not the same person anymore. He had learned from 4 failures. He understood markets, he understood money, he understood people. He understood his own strengths and weaknesses. His 5th business did not just succeed, it became tremendously successful. Today, it generates millions of rupees every year and employs 200 people. And here is the most important thing. Arjun says that he could not have succeeded with his fifth business if he had not failed with the first four. The failures were not obstacles. They were steps. Each failure moved him closer to success, not further away. Each failure taught him something he absolutely needed to know. This is the biggest difference between people who succeed and people who do not the difference in how much they fail. Everyone fails. The difference is that successful people see failure as information, not as judgment. They see failure as feedback, not as proof of their inadequacy. They see failure as part of the journey, not the end of the journey. Key principle: failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the price of success. Every person who achieved anything significant has failed many times. The number of failures is often proportional to the size of the eventual success. So when you fail, do not see it as confirmation that you cannot do it. See it as evidence that you are trying something difficult enough to be worth doing. Finally, let me tell you about Mira. Mira grew up in a small village where girls were not supposed to dream big. Girls were supposed to get married, have children, take care of the house. That was the expectation. That was the limitation placed on her. But Mira had a dream that felt impossible to everyone around her. She wanted to be an engineer. She wanted to build things. She wanted to solve problems. Her family was shocked. The village was shocked. Everyone said, "Girls do not become engineers. That is not realistic. You are wasting your time." But here is what Mira understood. What feels impossible today was impossible to everyone 100 years ago. Flying seemed impossible. Talking to someone on the other side of the world seemed impossible. Carrying all the music ever created in your pocket seemed impossible. All of these are normal today. What seems impossible today will be normal tomorrow. Mira held on to her impossible dream. She studied hard. She got into engineering school. It was difficult. She was one of only 5 girls in a class of 50 students, but she did not doubt her dream. She did not shrink. She did not listen to the voice that said she did not belong. Today, Mira is a structural engineer working on major building projects. She has designed structures that are used by millions of people. She has won engineering awards. She has trained dozens of young women who now work in engineering. And most importantly, she has shown her village and her community something profound. The impossible is only impossible until someone does it. What makes Mira different from the thousands of girls in her village who had similar talent? One thing: Mira had a big dream, and she did not let the smallness of everyone else's thinking shrink her vision. Small dreams require small thinking. Small thinking creates small actions. Small actions create small results. But big dreams force your brain to think in completely new ways. Big dreams push you to grow. Big dreams are what pull you forward. Key principle: your goals are not just about what you want to achieve. Your goals are about who you are becoming. Big goals make you a different person. Big goals expand your thinking. They expand your capabilities. They expand your possibilities. Rich people do not set small, safe goals. They set big, meaningful goals. And these big goals become the force that transforms them from ordinary to extraordinary. If you have been paying attention to these 7 stories, you have noticed something. These are 7 very different people with 7 very different circumstances. Priya was a factory worker. Rahul was a village boy. Aisha was a teacher. Vikram was a restaurant owner. Deepa was a nurse. Arjun was an entrepreneur. Mira came from a traditional community. They should have nothing in common, but they do. They share something profound that runs through all of them. What they share is a particular way of thinking. It is a way of seeing the world. It is a way of responding to challenges. It is a way of relating to possibilities. This way of thinking is more powerful than any single skill, more important than any single education, more valuable than any single opportunity. This is called the mindset of the successful, and it is something that can be learned, practiced, and developed by anyone. Let me explain the deep connections. First, all of these people shifted their focus from problems to possibilities. When Priya lost her job, she could have focused on the problem. She could have spent her time complaining, worrying, feeling victimized. Instead, she asked what was possible. When Rahul had no resources, he could have focused on what he lacked. Instead, he focused on what he had. The shift in focus changes everything. Second, all of these people invested rather than spent. They all understood a fundamental principle that most people never grasp. Money, time, and energy are either investments or expenses. Investments come back multiplied. Expenses disappear. Rahul invested his time into learning. Vikram invested in his own education. Deepa invested in building relationships through generosity. Meera invested her energy into becoming better. Their lives grew because they invested. Third, all of these people took action before they felt ready. This is so important that I want to emphasize it again. Aisha did not wait to be ready. Rahul did not wait for perfect conditions. Arjun did not wait for guaranteed success. Meera did not wait for permission from society. They understood something that most people never understand. Readiness comes from doing, not from thinking about doing. You cannot think your way into confidence. You can only act your way into confidence. Now, I want to go even deeper, because the real secret is not in the individual actions of these people. The real secret is in something that happened inside their minds. Something fundamental shifted in how they saw themselves and their relationship to the world. Most people walk through life with a story playing in their mind about who they are. I am not creative. I am not a business person. I am not smart enough. I am not the type who succeeds. These stories were usually written by other people, by teachers who gave them bad grades, by parents who said, "Be realistic," by friends who said, "You are not that kind of person," by society that said, "People like us do not do things like that." These stories feel like facts. They feel like the truth. But they are not facts. They are just stories. Old stories written a long time ago, and we have been unconsciously living according to them. What changed in Priya, Rahul, Aisha, Vikram, Deepa, Arjun, and Meera was this. They rewrote their stories. They started to believe something different about themselves. Priya believed, "I am someone who can build a business." Rahul believed, "I am someone who can learn anything." Aisha believed, "I am someone who can make a difference." Vikram believed, "I am someone who can grow continuously." Deepa believed, "I am someone whose generosity creates abundance." Arjun believed, "I am someone who learns from failures." Meera believed, "I am someone who can achieve the impossible." These are not arrogant beliefs. They are not selfish beliefs. They are realistic beliefs. They are beliefs grounded in evidence. Every time Priya took an action and it worked, it reinforced her belief. Every time Rahul learned something, it reinforced his belief. Every time Aisha started something imperfectly and it eventually worked, it reinforced her belief. The most important work you can do is not in learning new skills, though that is important. The most important work is rewriting the story you believe about yourself. Because who you believe you are determines what you do. And what you do determines the life you build. There is one more principle that runs through all the successful people in these stories, and it is something most people never talk about. It is about energy. Every person, rich or poor, has the same amount of time. 24 hours. Everyone gets exactly the same. So why do some people accomplish so much more? The answer is that time is not equal. 1 hour when you are focused, energized, and clear is worth 10 hours when you are distracted, tired, and scattered. The successful people in these stories all understood how to protect their energy. They understood what drains energy and what builds energy. Negative people drain energy. Complaints drain energy. Worry about things you cannot control drains energy. Poor health drains energy. Disorganization drains energy. Successful people protect themselves from these energy drains. They are careful about who they spend time with. They focus on things they can control. They take care of their bodies. They organize their lives. They do the most important work during their peak energy time. More importantly, successful people understand the power of saying no. They say no to activities that drain their energy without building their future. They say no to people who want to pull them down. They say no to obligations that do not align with their goals. This might sound selfish, but it is actually the most generous thing they can do. Because when they protect their energy, they can give their best to the things that matter. We live in a world that demands everything immediately. Order food, it arrives in 30 minutes. Send a message, you get a reply in seconds. Want to watch a movie? Any movie you want is available instantly. This world of instant gratification has created a deeply impatient generation. If something is not working in 1 week, people give up. If results do not come in 1 month, people quit. If success is not visible in 1 year, people move on. But every person in these stories understood something different. They understood the Chinese bamboo tree principle. When you plant a bamboo seed and care for it properly, nothing happens for 4 years. 4 years. You water it, you give it sunlight, you fertilize the soil. Nothing visible happens. A skeptical person would stop watering it at the end of year 1 or 2. A person focused on quick results would say this is not working. But the person who understands bamboo keeps going. You water it, you give it sunlight, you fertilize the soil. Nothing visible happens. A skeptical person would stop watering it at the end of year 1 or 2. A person focused on quick results would say this is not working. But the person who understands bamboo keeps going. The foundation was being built. And when the right moment came, the tree exploded with growth. Rahul's success followed the bamboo pattern. Nothing visible for years. Then suddenly his app had thousands of users. Deepa's clinic followed the bamboo pattern. Years of giving with little apparent return. Then suddenly she was expanding and everything accelerated. Arjun's entrepreneurial journey followed the bamboo pattern. 4 failures with no visible success. Then the 5th business accelerated so fast it was almost unbelievable. The same principle works with compound interest, with skill building, with relationship development, with reputation building. Small incremental progress compounded over time creates extraordinary results. But you have to be patient. You have to keep watering the tree even when you see nothing. You have to stay committed even when results are not visible. Now we come to the most important principle, the foundation upon which everything else is built. This principle is so important that if you forget everything else, remember this one thing. Your life moves toward what you believe you deserve, not what you want. Many people want to be successful. They say it, they dream about it, they make plans about it, but deep inside, in a place they rarely look, they believe that success is not for them. Success is for other people, for people who are smarter, for people from better families, for people who are luckier, not for someone like me. This deep, quiet belief is more powerful than any goal, more powerful than any plan, more powerful than any action, because when an opportunity comes, this belief whispers, "This is not really for you. You would probably fail anyway. Better not to try. Better to stay safe." And the person finds a reason not to take the opportunity. They find a reason to say no. They find a reason to play small. What changed in all the people in these stories was different. Somewhere along the way, they came to believe something. I am capable. I deserve good things. Success is possible for me. I am worthy. This belief might have come quietly. It might have come from one person who believed in them. It might have come from a small success that proved to them they could do hard things. It might have come from reading a book or hearing a story that opened their mind to new possibilities. But whenever it came, everything changed. Because once they believed they deserved success, they acted differently. They took opportunities. They asked for what they wanted. They tried things that scared them. They persisted through difficulties. They did all of this because somewhere inside, they believed they were worthy of success. Now, here is the question for you. What do you believe you deserve? Really believe, not what you say you want. What do you actually believe? Do you believe you deserve a life of financial security? Do you believe you deserve meaningful work? Do you believe you deserve love, respect, and success? Or do you believe deep down that those things are for other people? Because here is the truth that nobody wants to hear. Your life will not rise above what you believe you deserve. If you believe you deserve little, your life will be little. If you believe you deserve much, your life will be much. Your belief is the ceiling, and your actions will never exceed that ceiling for long. The good news is that beliefs are not permanent. They can be changed. You are not stuck with the beliefs you have, but changing beliefs takes intention. It takes work. It takes daily practice. Let me share the process that works. First, become aware of the limiting beliefs you carry. Notice the voice that says, "I cannot do this. I am not the type who succeeds. People like me do not achieve things like that." Just notice it. Do not judge yourself. Do not fight it. Just notice it. The awareness itself is the beginning of change. Second, question the belief. Is this actually true, or is this just a story I learned a long time ago? What is the evidence for this belief? Who do I know who came from a similar background and succeeded? When you really question the belief, you will often find it is not as solid as it feels. It is just a story someone told you, and you believed it. Third, collect new evidence. Every time you do something difficult, every time you accomplish something, every time you improve, no matter how small, keep it. Celebrate it. Let it sink in. This new evidence slowly rewrites your story. Slowly. Your belief changes. Fourth, speak to yourself differently. Instead of, "I cannot do this," say, "I am learning how to do this." Instead of, "I am not the type who succeeds," say, "I am becoming someone who succeeds." Instead of, "I failed," say, "I learned something that makes me smarter." These subtle shifts in language, repeated daily, rewire your brain over time. Finally, take action that reinforces your new belief. Your brain believes what you do more than what you think. So if you want to believe you are capable, take on challenges that prove your capability. If you want to believe you are generous, do generous acts. If you want to believe you are intelligent, learn something new. Your actions rewire your beliefs faster than your thoughts ever could. We have covered so much ground in this story. We have looked at 7 different people from 7 different circumstances. We have uncovered the principles that unite them. We have seen that success is not about luck or family or being born in the right place. Success is about thinking differently, believing differently, and acting differently. Success is a pattern, a repeatable pattern, a pattern that you can learn and practice and master. But now I have to tell you something that might be uncomfortable to hear. Understanding is not enough. You now understand these principles. You know what Priya did. You know what Rahul did. You know what all of these people did. But understanding changes nothing by itself. Knowledge without action is just a comfortable thought. Knowledge plus action is transformation. So here is what I want to ask you. Right now, as you finish watching this, do not wait. Do not say, I will start tomorrow. Do not say, I will start next week. Do not say, I need to prepare more. Right now, choose one of these principles. Just one. Maybe you will choose to start looking for opportunities in your next problem. Maybe you will choose to start investing your time into something you care about. Maybe you will choose to take imperfect action on something you have been waiting to do. Choose one principle. Make one decision about how you will think differently starting tomorrow. Then take one small step. Just one step. Do not worry about being perfect. Do not worry about having the perfect plan. Just take one small step. Because every single person whose story we told took just one small step, then another, and over time, those small steps built into a journey that changed their entire life. English is learned one word at a time, one sentence at a time, one conversation at a time. Success is built the same way, one decision at a time, one action at a time, one day at a time. You have everything inside you that you need. You have a mind that can learn. You have hands that can work. You have a heart that can believe in something bigger than yourself. The only thing you are waiting for is permission. And I am telling you right now, you have permission. You have permission to dream big. You have permission to try new things. You have permission to fail and try again. You have permission to become the best version of yourself. One last thing before you go. Thank you for spending these moments with me. Thank you for learning these stories. Thank you for opening your heart to the possibility that you too can build something extraordinary. If these stories touched you, if they moved you, if you see yourself in any of these characters, then please share this video with someone you care about. That person might be standing at a crossroads right now. That person might be thinking about giving up on their dream. Your share could be the thing that changes their direction. And if you want to hear more stories like this, if you want to continue this journey of transformation, then please subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. Because every week we are bringing stories that inspire, that teach, that transform. I will see you in the next video. Keep moving forward, keep growing, keep believing in yourself. The journey from where you are to where you want to be is not as far as it feels. It is not as complicated as it seems. It begins with one choice. It begins with one belief. It begins with one action. Everything we have discussed, every principle, every story, all of it comes back to this simple truth. You are not stuck. You are not limited. You are not defined by your past. You are not determined by your circumstances. You are determined by your choices. And choices are available to you right now, at this very moment. What will you choose? This is the end of our time together for today, but it is the beginning of something for you, the beginning of seeing problems differently, the beginning of investing instead of spending, The beginning of taking action before you are ready. The beginning of continuous learning. The beginning of generous giving. The beginning of learning from failures. The beginning of dreaming bigger. The beginning of believing you deserve success. All of this begins with the choice you make in the next moment. Choose wisely, choose bravely, choose to move forward. Your extraordinary life is waiting.